We have this reporter that goes by the name of Sabrina that dropped the behind-the-scenes information about Caitlin Clark at this USA basketball training camp. And the way that she's talking, Caitlin Clark made this team, fam. She made this team the way that...
Team USA practice turned into the most uncomfortable week anyone in that gym had ever experienced. Caitlin Clark walked in quietly. No hype, no announcements, no cameras chasing her down. But within minutes, everything changed. The energy shifted. The hierarchy flipped. Conversations stopped. Eyes followed. By the final day, someone walked out. Not because they were cut, not because of an injury, but because they understood something no one wanted to say out loud. The game had already chosen its direction, and it wasn't choosing them. What happened behind closed doors is finally coming out, and it changes everything.
Yeah! The GOAT! Logo 3s are back, y'all. Logo 3s are back like they never left. Caitlin Clark doing it to him. Caitlin Clark is on fire. Day 3 of Team USA camp. The girl couldn't miss. It was like throwing a rock in the ocean for Caitlin Clark. Day 3 of Team USA camp. The best player in the gym.
Caitlin's presence wasn't intimidating in a loud, trash talk way. It was intimidating in the purest basketball sense. She didn't need to announce herself. Her range, pace, and decision-making forced everyone else to adjust immediately. When one player walks in and the entire gym has to recalibrate, that creates pressure, especially on veterans who are used to setting the tone. For some players, it wasn't fear. It was exposure. Team USA practices are usually about chemistry and hierarchy. Caitlin disrupted both. Her game operates at a different speed, with shots and reads that you can't prepare for unless you already play that way. If you're half a step slow mentally or physically, it shows fast. And at that level, being exposed can feel worse than being beaten. So were players intimidated? Yes, in the sense that she shrank the margin for error. Were some simply not ready? Absolutely. Her level demanded instant adaptation, and not everyone could make that leap in real time. That's why moments like these don't just test skill, they test identity. When the game starts choosing someone else, the hardest part isn't losing minutes. It's realizing the future has already arrived.
And we wrote about that on the site, just like how people have been perceiving the negotiations and what still affects them and what they're thinking about with regards to the new collective bargaining agreement. But for now, just good time at camp. 3 days in North Carolina. A little snow on one of the days, just a little taste of the winter in the South. But
let's talk about what just went down at Team USA basketball training camp. Because according to reports, Caitlin Clark didn't just show up and participate. She took over, completely. And in the process, she exposed something nobody wanted to talk about. The power structure in women's basketball just got flipped upside down, and not everyone was happy about it. Behind the closed doors of that gym, roles shifted, egos were tested, and the future made itself impossible to ignore. This wasn't just another camp. It was a moment of reckoning, and the ripple effects are only beginning to surface.
When she was not playing with Aaliyah Boston, some of the bigs didn't know what to do with her passes. Like there was one time where she passed it to Hamby, and Hamby brought the ball down. It's like, you can't do that. Like this is not. You gotta keep it up. You have to keep it up, right?
Straight up, right.
Just not expecting, where that was coming. But FIBA naturally just a lot more physical than other levels of basketball, even more physical than the WNBA, which is something to be said considering all the conversations we had about that level of physicality during this 2025 season. So having to see Caitlin go at scouting players who were instructed to play at a FIBA level of physicality was interesting considering how long she's been out and the fact that she's still ramping up injury wise, but she looked good. She was just so happy to be there and was individually telling media members how nice it was just to talk to them again and that she was just part of the basketball process.
Now, before we get into the drama, let's set the scene. Team USA camp was supposed to be calm, controlled, and professional, just players getting reps, building chemistry, and preparing for fiercer competition. But the moment Caitlin Clark walked into that gym, everything changed. Not because she demanded attention, but because her presence created gravity. Every drill suddenly revolved around her. Conversations stopped when she touched the ball. Every rep felt heavier. This wasn't attention-seeking. This was impact.
And just fun to see the players in a live game situation again, because you think about Caitlin hasn't played since July 15th.
Yes.
There are 4 sparks of this camp. Their season ended on September 11th, right? So it's been a long time since any of them have really played competitive basketball. You saw some situations where like Caitlin's stuck guarding Kelsey, and Kelsey's, knocking her off the ball, and Caitlin gets called for a foul, and she starts yelling at the refs like, she's grabbing me, and all of the coaches from WNBA teams who are sitting there watching are just cracking up. Kelsey had one situation where she sort of finished through traffic. She'd been struggling a little bit, got through to the hoop, just like yells right in like Becky Hammon and Nikki Fargas's face, and they're just like cracking up.
A reporter named Sabrina later dropped some behind-the-scenes details about what really went down at this camp. And the way she described it, Caitlin Clark didn't just make the team. She proved she belonged at the highest level the moment she stepped on the floor. That's the wild part. Nobody saw it coming. Not the coaches, not the players, not even the cameras. Because on the final day of Team USA camp, Caitlin didn't just show up. She dominated, and someone in that gym couldn't handle it. Now let's talk about Paige Bueckers, because Paige was there, and she noticed it immediately. The pace changed when Caitlin ran the offense. The spacing tightened. The ball moved faster. Players leaned in. Coaches leaned forward. It felt like a switch had been flipped. And Paige, being the competitor she is, recognized it right away. This wasn't just another guard getting reps. This was someone operating on a completely different level.
Just Caitlin Clark being back on the court, you also got a quote out of Sue Bird about her being impressed with Caitlin just being engaged while she was out and getting back to being able to play. A little bit about what Caitlin looked like on the court, how much fun she was having, how important it was. And then someone else, Angel Reese on the other side, talking about Chicago. That was the article I was not expecting.
Yeah, so we'll start with Caitlin. Obviously, she suffered a lot of just a bevy of injuries in her sophomore season, played her last game on July 15th, even before All-Star Weekend. This was her first real 5-on-5 action since that injury with the fever, and it was a combination of like USA players going against USA players, and then also USA players going against the scout team, which was just like players from small colleges all across North Carolina sort of helping out with that scout team practice.
A reporter named Sabrina later dropped some behind-the-scenes details about what really went down at this camp. And the way she described it, Caitlin Clark didn't just make the team. She proved she belonged at the highest level the moment she stepped on the floor. That's the wild part. Nobody saw it coming. Not the coaches, not the players, not even the cameras. Because on the final day of Team USA camp, Caitlin didn't just show up. She dominated, and someone in that gym couldn't handle it. Now let's talk about Paige Bueckers, because Paige was there, and she noticed it immediately. The pace changed when Caitlin ran the offense. The spacing tightened. The ball moved faster. Players leaned in. Coaches leaned forward. It felt like a switch had been flipped. And Paige, being the competitor she is, recognized it right away. This wasn't just another guard getting reps. This was someone operating on a completely different level.
Caitlin Clark is truly back healthy. The three-point shot is back. The logo threes are back. And what I really liked about that second one is that was going right. A lot of Caitlin Clark's threes are coming on a snatch back, going backwards, or to the left, or her going left. She liked to go left to shoot her three. So the fact that even though it was a catch and shoot, she was still going on the right side and she caught it and knocked it down. That's a good sign.
But here's where things got interesting. Angel Reese was also at this camp, and what she felt wasn't anger at first. It was something worse. Irrelevance. Because while Caitlin Clark was controlling the tempo and dictating the flow, Angel was slowly fading into the background. Not because she couldn't play, but because the rhythm wasn't built for her. The ball didn't come back. The reads didn't favor her. The momentum flowed right past her. Every huddle, every breakdown, every side conversation. Caitlin Clark was the center of it all, not by demand, but by impact. Angel noticed. You could see it in her body language. The frustration started to build because she was running the same drills, getting similar minutes. But the game wasn't revolving around her anymore. It was revolving around Caitlin. Then came the scrimmage. No cameras, no fans, just pride. Caitlin ran point. Paige spaced the floor. The ball moved like it was on rails. Everything clicked. Fast, clean, intentional. Meanwhile, Angel tried to force her presence. More physical plays, extra contact, emotion rising. But the game didn't bend. It moved faster, smarter, cleaner. And possession by possession, Angel faded out of the flow. Not benched, not pulled, just erased by tempo. That's when it hit her. This wasn't competition anymore. This was hierarchy. Caitlin wasn't proving she belonged. She was proving the system worked better through her. Coaches whispered. Assistants took notes. And Angel saw it in real time. The game had moved forward without her. Now here's what the reporter added. She said Caitlin looked like Caitlin. The step-back three was there. The vision was there. The passes were there. And when she wasn't paired with Aaliyah Boston, some of the bigs didn't know what to do with the ball she delivered. There was one moment where Caitlin hit De'Erica Hamby with a pass, and Hamby brought the ball down. The reporter said, "You can't do that. You have to keep it up." That's the difference. Caitlin's passes are so precise, so perfectly placed, that you have to be ready to catch and finish immediately. That's not just ball movement. That's elite facilitation. She doesn't just get the ball to her teammates. She puts it exactly where it needs to be for them to score. And if you're not ready for that level, you're going to look bad. And at this camp, some players weren't ready. And Caitlin Clark just proved she belongs. She proved she can handle FIBA-level physicality. She proved she can run an offense at the highest level. She proved that when the pressure is highest, she's the one you want on the floor. Now the narrative is changing, again. The same voices that doubted her are praising her. The same media that questioned her is posting her highlights. And honestly, it's exhausting, because Caitlin's been proving herself this whole time. People are just finally paying attention. This was revenge without words. She didn't argue. She didn't explain. She didn't demand respect. She earned it. Coaches looked shaken. Players looked recalibrated. And Caitlin walked out the same way she walked in. Quiet, focused, unbothered, while everything around her burned. That's the mindset of a champion. Some will say this story is exaggerated. Just drama for clicks. But multiple reports confirm Caitlin dominated this camp. Multiple players felt the shift. And someone walking out tells you everything you need to know. This wasn't just another practice. This was a statement. The same thing happened when Caitlin entered the WNBA. Doubt, questions, resistance, and then dominance. Now it's happening again. Caitlin Clark took over Team USA practice. She proved she's on a different level. Some players adjusted. Others couldn't handle it and walked away. The game has chosen its direction, and it's choosing Caitlin Clark. If you want more updates on Caitlin and the biggest moments in sports, hit that like button and subscribe.